Hello everybody and welcome back to the Rugby Magazine Fantasy Show. In this episode I'm going to be taking a look at the top 5 backs that you should have in your fantasy team. As I said in the previous video on top 5 forwards, the Rugby World Cup is the highlight of the rugby calendar. And with such magnificence on show, it's hard to know who to pick for your squad. But fear not, I'm here with my top 5 backs that you should have in your fantasy team. And I'm going to kick it off with a guy who has absolutely teared it up in the Six Nations this year and looks set for a superb tournament. France's Antoine Dupont took to the last fixture to drop below 30 points in a game during the Six Nations, and he continued the same level of performance through the warm-up fixtures. Explosive, skillful and diligent, he is an exciting choice for your fantasy team. Next up is one of the men that South Africa cannot afford to be without. Pollard is a subtle playmaker, great runner and expert game manager who continues to deliver high fantasy scores. His best performance to date was round 3 of the Rugby Championship, where he scored 2 tries and amassed 59 fantasy points. He's also a great choice as kicker in your team. And given that Henry, our in-house AI, has predicted South Africa will make the final, you can check that out in a previous video, pick him and you're going to be smiling all the way through. Now next up is one of Scotland's finest. Now Finn Russell can cover fly half or centre in your team, making him a valuable player from the outset. And if he can match his Six Nations form, we should be looking at 25 to 30 points a game from him. He delivered 29.21 points per 80 through the Six Nations, and the vast majority of that was with the ball in hand. So he's a great pick for games where the Scots are on the front foot. My penultimate pick in the backs then is one of Ireland's finest. Now Conor Murray was pipped to the post for total points in the Six Nations by my number 1 pick, but he stood out as being a strong fantasy captain choice throughout the tournament. At 36.91 points per 80, he had one of the best returns, and after a 37-point haul against Wales in the warm-ups, he looks set to be at the forefront of Ireland's bid to break new ground in the World Cup. His best game in the Six Nations was Ireland's 22-13 victory against none other than the Scots, so he is well placed for some great scores. And finally, we come to my top pick, and as I said, this guy topped the ladder for fantasy points through the Six Nations, delivering a points per 80 of 35.37. England's 29-year-old speedster Jonny May topped the try-scoring charts too, crossing the white line 6 times through the competition, with 3 of those coming against France. No one's going to forget his sheer pace to get over the line, but also his little shimmy to score in the corner. He's certainly about more than just speed, and perhaps he even might have another goal on the flank. Either way, expect some solid points hauls from the Leicester man. And there we go, my top 5 picks for backs for your fantasy team for the World Cup. As ever, hit that like and subscribe button, follow us on your favourite social media channel, and look out for the next episode where I might, but I cannot promise, I will do a Pool C review.